Hey Heather, I liked your video last week. It was kind of fun to think of all of those tens of thousands of unread emails. And by fun, I mean anxiety inducing. But to be fair, I have about 1,200 unread emails in my inbox right now. That is a new-ish thing for me though. Um, Fairly recently, I got rid of some of my other email addresses, and now I just have one email address for my personal use and then one for business. But I used to have separate addresses for things like subscriptions and store memberships and whatever, like promotional things. Um, so it was a lot easier for me to organize that stuff, and then I could just kind of like click through and be like, yeah. Um, I don't, I don't need this. I can just delete it or whatever. And now it's all mixed in with my personal stuff, which I thought would be good for me to, I thought it would keep me more like accountable and help me like actually only subscribe to the things that I wanted, or that I was actually reading. But instead, it just ended up clogging up my inbox. So I am definitely a gatherer at heart, in that way anyway. And what is a little bit more telling for me is that I actually hardly really delete messages. I end up, I'll read them, or I'll even like just kind of like hover over them or whatever to just make the alert go away in my inbox. And then I don't archive ever. I don't really delete things. The inbox zero thing is like, I don't really get it. I don't know why you would spend that much time trying to get to inbox zero, especially when there's a search function in email. But I guess, yeah, like if Google was hounding me and being like, hey, you're gonna have to start paying for all this space you're taking up on the internet, then yeah, that would probably lead me to deleting more things. However, I have gone through my inbox because it starts to get to a number where I'm just kind of like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in here, even though it is technically read stuff. And I will go through kind of by, like you said, by sender or whatever, and just like go deleting things, just because it bugs me how much is in there sometimes. But apparently it doesn't bug me that much. What also doesn't seem to bug me that much is how many notes I have in my Apple Notes app, which is just basically like a dumping ground of all of my ideas. There are 1,500 plus notes in there right now, and that's just where I keep stuff because it's easy access and easy to just copy and paste from somewhere I read something interesting or whatever, and I can access from my laptop or from my phone. For some reason, I find that easier than just going to like Pages or some kind of word processing document. And then it's just easy to search for things and to put things in folders, and it's all a lot more visual than say like a word processing app would be. What is funny is that going back to the alerts and the having all these unread messages and things, is that I will sometimes pick up Tim's phone because our phones look exactly alike, and I will be like, oh, because he will leave things unread, and he doesn't actually leave them unread. He'll just like see the message when it comes through, and then he just doesn't ever go back and make sure that the alert is gone and that click on it or whatever. And I always have to go back and click on it. If I don't, I'm like, I know, like, okay, for example, I've got like 3 text messages here. Like, I haven't looked at those text messages. I've been working. I know that if they're there, then I have to go back and look at them. I don't want to like look at them and then forget about it, because I have definitely done that, and I sometimes am in that habit, especially having kids. Like, you look at something and get distracted. So I try to only look at my text messages when I have time to actually sit down and respond. So I actually use that alert for for the purpose that it's there. Like, hey, you have text messages that are unread. Okay, I will sit down and read them. Versus just like, oh yeah, 1,200 emails, whatever. Anyway, fun question. It's funny the things that we don't know about each other sometimes. I will talk to you next week.